So this is so this man just went into the Blackstone headquarters in New York City and opened fire. Apparently, he got 6 people. Did he kill them all? I don't know. He was killed. This is the report. We'll listen to it now. It's from CNN. We'll see what they have to say. But this is the person who decided to commit murder, mass murder, inside the halls of Blackstone.
Well, we'll probably hear about a manifesto.
They do not know who he is. They know he is a male, possibly white. He's wearing sunglasses. He appears to have a mustache.
Okay.
I have an update here saying that the suspect is dead.
Yes, he is dead. But here's the thing. The suspect.
That's convenient, isn't it? That's convenient.
You know what I hate, Brian, and I'm sure you do too. The suspect is black, but you come out and say he must be white. Why must they make it about that?
I know. Before the bodies are even cold, they're already talking about all the motives.
Hey, how can we use this for political cannon fodder?
Yep. If it bleeds, it leads.
If it bleeds, it leads, brother. Absolutely.
And that picture has been distributed to every police officer in New York City, particularly has been sent to the phones of the search teams inside that building, because whenever they encounter a group of people, the first thing they have to figure out is that individual among these people hiding among victims or pretending to be an office worker? Because one thing you don't want to have happen is to have this kind of cordon where you're trying to evacuate people in groups as you can get them to a safe corridor and have this person slip out with them. So yes, they have the picture and they have distributed to everybody on the scene.
All right. Can I just say this guy looks like he's reporting from 1972?
Walter Cronkite.
Like, look at this guy. He's in a space warp.
Well, the whole thing about him looking down at people while he's reporting also, like that's considered a very condescending way of delivering a news story.
Well, I don't think doesn't look like he's somebody who probably usually does the news. It looks like he's an behind the scenes office person. I don't know who that is.
We have one more clip to play. Let's see if this provides any additional information. Bird is not the shooter. Here's what I know. The difference between this man and Luigi Mangione is that he went in fully intending to get killed.
That's not the only difference. There's a lot of differences. This guy walked into a building and started shooting people. That is not the same thing as Luigi Mangione. Luigi Mangione specifically killed one person that he was trying to kill. This guy, from what it sounds like, walked into the building and just started shooting at people. That is not punching up. That is not Mangione monetary theory. That is not the same thing.
It is Blackstone. And I am fairly confident in what Brian said. There will likely be a manifesto of some kind, you would imagine. But this should not come as a surprise.
No, I just really wish people would leave innocence out. And Luigi Mangione even wrote in his writings that he chose to do it how he did it so that no innocent people, that there wouldn't be any innocent lives lost. So that's completely different.
We can only surmise why he did this, but Brian, you would have to think, knowing just how much, again, American empire is on the ropes. You know, Blackstone is one of those companies. I know it. You know it. as somebody who is in commercial real estate and specifically in the multifamily space, Blackstone buys up communities. They price people out of the ability to afford to live. And this is where the lack of government regulation comes into play, where clearly Blackstone is a monopoly in every conceivable way, and no one does anything to stop it. So what ends up happening when things get too dicey? A person ends up deciding that they're going to make a statement, even if it means having their own life taken, if this is how they feel it needs to be done. I'm not saying that there's justification, but we can't ignore the reality of why somebody would do something like this.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely like to see if there was a manifesto, find out about the guy, his political ideologies, anything that, may have radicalized him in any form or fashion. He's in New York City, so, not a huge residential, other than, apartments, condos and whatnot. It's not like he's living in a suburb as far as we know. Is there updates on that?
At least 6 people were shot near Park Avenue and East 52nd Street, including an NYPD officer who was later reported dead. The AR-15 armed suspect involved in an active shooter incident in Midtown Manhattan has been found deceased. Cause of death was a gun-inflicted gunshot. Well, obviously,
He was found deceased. How convenient.
How did he get up to the 33rd floor? This guy is walking.
He was on camera walking in the security camera.
An AR-15.
How could he possibly get up there? Hey, I'm going up. Well, actually, you know what? If security's not there and you say, hey, I'm going to the 33rd floor, like, hey, be my guest. And then
none of that makes any sense to me.
I mean, these elevators have emergency shutdowns and stuff. You got to be
these lobbies. You can't get to the elevator without cards and stuff in these types of buildings. They are highly secure. You walk in, you can't get on an elevator without the proper clearance. You can't just walk into those buildings, just get on an elevator.
Look at that statement from Teresa. And Lee definitely knows a thing or two about this. And if it's true that there is about 27 million homes that are currently empty in this country, keep in mind, if you just go down to Miami, places like Sunny Isles, for example, think about how empty so many of those beachfront buildings are. And Jen, you used to always talk about how Sunny Isles is like the worst example of what you would consider advancement, if you even want to call it that.
Sunny Isles is disgusting now. It's disgusting. It doesn't resemble anything like a nice beach or anything like that. And the sand, it's all eroded. They have to keep bringing in sand. It's not good. There's too much concrete. You got to stop building in these places. We're not meant to keep living on top of each other like this. People are not meant to live on top of each other.
Now, I've been to these investment conferences, and I will tell you that the thing that these guys think about, especially private equity like Blackstone, is that they go in to buy up these communities, and they don't care if they have to kick, 500 people out of their homes. Like, that doesn't matter to them. What matters is, how do we get the most amount of money for our shareholders, and the people be damned? Was this shooter directly affected by something that Blackstone did? It's possible.
Well, someone put in the chat, maybe it's a former employee.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Access card or something. I mean, Blackstone's got armed security. They have to have armed security.
That's what I would think. I don't understand how somebody walked in there holding a rifle like that.
But this is what you've talked about at length, about how there is a reason why these cop cities are popping up all over the country, because people are getting restless, and this is what's going to end up happening. They're not going to change. That's why I worry about the country just collapsing on itself, because the powers that be know things are bad. And the response to this shooting isn't going to be, well, we really need to think about how we do business going forward. It's more bars, more guards. What else can we do? How big can the moats be built, Jen?
I think they're running out of space. And I've been saying it. It's going to get more and more violent. Every new person that has nothing to lose, every person every day that's created with nothing to lose, which happens all the time. Every day, someone is losing a loved one because they don't have health care, filing bankruptcy because of healthcare costs, or they can't afford to even live even though they're working 3 jobs. People that get to the breaking point are going to start being increasingly more and more. And the fact that we have firearms, to me, indicates violence. I'm not like, to me, it just seems logical.
And do not be lost on the symbolism. You know, this is the thing. You know, the CEO of United, that wasn't an accident. Blackstone, that's not an accident.